Hello, it's Heather Dixon from Army of Knitters and welcome to episode 3 of What's Heather Up To Now. This is my little vlog and I'm not on a yoga ball today, I'm on quite a squeaky chair. Squeak, squeak, squeak. And first things first, I've got a cup of tea this time. See, thought about it this time, got myself a cup of tea. Lovely cup of lemon balm tea made by my friend Valda. Made lemon balm tea and ping. It's gently uplifting yet calming. It's good for anti-anxiety. It's mildly sedative for sleep. Also improves digestion and memory. So I'm gonna drink more of that. Although I don't want to be falling asleep while I'm doing this. Yes. So lovely, lovely tea. So hopefully I won't be coughing, losing my voice this episode. So let's see, it's been, I think, 4 weeks since I last filmed. So a little bit to catch up on. In between last episode and this episode, I went to the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, which was a really sweet little sheep and wool festival, a lot smaller than the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. If you're familiar with New York Sheep and Wool Festival, otherwise known as Rhinebeck, it's the Sheep and Wool Festival that everybody goes to, and it's great. It's huge and wonderful, and it's in October, and I'm looking forward to going, even though it's even though it's only June. Happy June, 2nd of June today, although it might not be 2nd of June when I put this out, so hopefully I'll get around to it today, but it's already 1:45, so who knows. So at the festival, which was really sweet and lovely, and it sort of calm and relaxed, and yeah, I felt like I could take my time, you know, not many people there, a good crowd, but not mobbed like Rhinebeck. And I got a skein of yarn. I treated myself, actually. Nathan bought this. Thank you, Nathan. Nathan treated me to a skein of Yarn Love. Look at that cute label. Very cute label, Yarn Love. And this is Amy March DK Colour Tranquil Waters. It's 100% superwash merino wool. And it is 280 yards. And the needle size suggested is a US 2 to 5. So it's fine. But I must really be gravitating towards these lovely sort of, actually it's not coming up on the screen at all, what it is in real life. It's sort of tealy, turquoisey, going through to this sort of sandy, golden sandy, mustardy, grade of mustard, ochre colour. It was the one that stole my heart at the Sheep and Wool Festival. And so it's the one that came home with me, and I've been petting it ever since. It's been on my coffee table. You know, I don't drink coffee, it's a coffee table. It's been on my coffee table ever since I got back, and it makes me smile. I'm not sure. I mean, the first thing I thought was some necky thing. It actually, when I got it home, I realised it's very, very similar in colours to one of my Miryoku shawls, which I wear a lot. So I must really like these colours. And I was also wearing that day my Ogden Cami hack dress, which I'll talk about later, and it went perfectly with that. Colours went really nicely with that. So I was thinking a necky thing, maybe a crochet necky thing. Cowl, scarf, not sure yet. Bandana-y type thing, maybe. I don't know. It's getting towards the warmer weather now. It's warmed up a lot now. So the time for necky things is not now. But yeah, maybe for the autumn time, this will become a necky thing. But it's just a really lovely reminder of the show. We all do that, don't we? Go somewhere new. I had been to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival before, but maybe about 14 or 15 years ago, before I lived up here. But yeah, you go somewhere new and you buy a skein of yarn or a little trinket or a little memento. And those of us in the textile field, we like to buy ourselves a little bit of textile-y stuff. So this is what I got from the New Hampshire Sheep and Wool Festival, and it's lovely. So maybe you'll see this another time. My little smile of yarn. Maybe you'll see this little smile of yarn made into something necky soon. I will report back on that. But for now, it's just going to continue to be petted and loved and admired. So the festival was really nice. If I'm up here for it next year, I will go. In the meantime, I'll look forward to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival, which is in October. So that'll be great. Okay, so what progress do I have knitting wise? Oh, behind me, this side. This little cardigan, I ripped back on the bottom of the body, and I was trying to figure out what to do, and I went with good old feather and fan. It just needed a little extra something on the bottom, and so that's what it has on the bottom now. A little wavy feather and fan to echo some of the eyelets, and just because the yarn was striping so beautifully, it needed something. It needed feather and fan. Just worked. It just worked. I really like it. So I put a little bit on the sleeves as well. What it has done is it has sort of brought in, so this stitch is obviously tighter than my garter stitch on the body, so that's pulled in a bit, so I'm going to have to block that out because that's not what I'm going for. I'm not going for that blues on look. It's only slight, and then I put the front bands on. I haven't done anything with the neck. I've left the neck as is. I don't think I'm going to do anything with the neck. I'll see what that does when it blocks out. So this is the Uth Monokrom Fingering weight yarn. So I'm still very happy with that. I should be blocking it. It's been sitting on this mannequin for a while, several weeks. So it really needs to get blocked. I've been using the table because I've been doing all sorts of other projects, so I haven't had my blocking. I haven't had the space for blocking, which I normally have. I have to clear this table for that. Okay, so that's that. And then the second cardigan, because I'm knitting 3 cardigans. The second cardigan I'm knitting in Uth Yarn, which has collected a little bit of fluff. This is the Harvest Fingering, I believe, which is also a merino, and I've got a little lacy panel going on there, so some lacy leaves. So this is going to be a somewhat cropped cardigan, so I've got a sort of mock rib going on at the bottom, and then that stripe there goes up either side, and this is the back, so it's going to have this leafy pattern in the back. It's going to be a V-neck, and it's going to have the leafy pattern going up, not too far, the front and the V, and then I would imagine up the center of the sleeve as well. And it's knitted in pieces. This is not one that I am knitting. This is not one that I'm knitting top down in the round. I'm knitting this in pieces. The reason I'm doing that is, one, so the lace pattern flows nicely, but two, I feel like this cardigan needs the stability of side seams. So it will have side seams. It won't be a seamless top down knit in the round or knit in one piece, whatever sweater that I usually make, like the one I'm wearing. So yeah, so this is taking a little while because I made a mistake in my calculations. So I had to start again, and also I had too much of a rolled hem. I made my little rolled hem teeny tiny, and this is this mock ribby stitch here is on a US 1. I don't use US 1 needles, so goodness knows what I was thinking there. But I had to go that small to get the fabric that I wanted, and then the body is on US 2, so that's really, really small for me. That is really, really small. So it's going a lot slower than a DK or a worsted, with it being a fingering weight. This one, with it being mostly garter stitch, went a lot quicker, but this number being stockinette and lace and deep rib, mock rib. I don't actually know what this is called. It's like a mock rib. It's taking a lot longer, but I'm enjoying it. And the colour, I'll talk about the colour later. I think it's called Citrus. Again, it's not coming out beautifully on the camera. It is a lemon, a bright, not super bright, but a bright lemon yellow, not a pale yellow that it looks like on my screen. And that's the sound of a dog shaking, shaky. And then the third cardigan hasn't started yet, but I have wound a skein, so that's the Uneek Cotton. So you can see what that is, and that is in colour 1076. Greyed off blues, greyed off indigo blues. And I haven't even swatched the design for this, but I think I know what it's going to be. So that's going to be cardigan number 3 in the Uth Yarns. Very nice, very nice. And then I think I showed off my everyday crochet spiral hat, which I still haven't woven in the ends. And I did the design of this for a class. I teach crochet along with knitting and sewing and pattern cutting and all kinds of other wonderful things at Pintuck Purl. So this is my everyday hat. That is a beautiful spiral. So this will be a class, and this was just stash yarn, and then I made another one for the shop in this very pretty salmon pink, apricot-y pink. But of course I don't have that, so I'll have to get a picture of that. If I do get a picture, it will I have to figure out which side. If I do get a picture, I'll put it up here, but don't hold your breath. And I crocheted with this Zen ebony crochet hook from Fabulous Yarn, which is lovely, beautiful hook, and size H, 5mm. So I do love a bit of crochet. I do love a bit of tea. Now, also at Pintuck Purl, we do the beginner crochet, granny square. There's the hat, and I'm thinking about doing a class for a market bag, especially as it's, you know, the warmer weather. Farmers markets are happening up here in the northeast, and who doesn't love a lovely market bag? So I'm on the fence as whether to do a crochet one or knitted one. I probably will do both, and then we'll put it to the vote to see what my students want to make, if they want to make a crochet or a knitted one, or if they want to make both. So I will be making market bags, crochet and knitted market bags. And other classes that I've been doing at Pintuck Purl, still as yet unfinished. I have my Hinterland Dress. I mean, it's finished. Oopsie, just dropped the other one. It's all but finished. The class was lots of fun. Hello, anybody who took my Hinterland Dress class? Hinterland Dress by So Liberated. It's all but done. I just have the buttons to put on. And I found after I made it, and after I'd done the buttonholes, this isn't properly attached. I've remembered that I've got these gorgeous buttons. I actually got these at the New York Sheep and Wool Festival. So in Rhinebeck, I got several bits of card with buttons on, several sets of buttons, and I found these, and the colours went perfectly with the little flowers that are on this fabric. Ooh, so dark today. So these little flowers are white with this turquoise center, and then on the background are these little stars, little flecks, little stars, and you probably can't tell, but goes beautifully with this. So not only do I have buttons to match the fabric, I also have an almost cardigan, a bit of cardigan that will go with my Hinterland dress. So very excited about that. The Hinterland dress pattern is wonderful. Love it. I made the half placket version with the ties. And I stupidly didn't mark where my pockets should go, so I just sort of guessed, and they're really low. So that's where they're staying. So if you see me in my Hinterland dress, you can say, hey, where are the long pockets? Have you got super long arms? But yes, my pockets are very low on my dress. But it's great, and it fits beautifully. So I'm excited about that. Just need to get those buttons on, and then I can wear it, because it's definitely Hinterland dress season up here. See, just need to get those on there, sew them on. I'm wondering, actually, I may even sew them on in little crisscrosses with this, and then that's all those 3 colours in there. And if that doesn't work, if that's too thick, it should be okay. If that's too thick, I'll find some thread in a similar colour. Hinterland dress, love it. Love me some Hinterland dress. Let's pop that over there. Okay, and then in other sewing, I also made, in a fabric that is really too stiff for it, but I made the emerald dress by made by Ray, which was in Making magazine number 7, I think. I want to say 7, desert one. And I've worn it and washed it, and I haven't ironed it since it was washed. But it's in this very pretty golden yellow with little white flowers on, and it was fun to make. The pockets are in the right place. Yay, pockets in the right place. But because this fabric is pretty stiff, the drape really is what's missing. It is on the bias, which is nice, but I need to remake this dress in something with a bit more drape, because at the moment I call it my muumuu. It's a bit like scrubs, especially with this wide facing on the neck. I do love the sleeve facings, makes a nice cap sleeve shape. But yes, it looks a bit like a cross between hospital scrubs and a muumuu. So I probably won't be wearing this out much until I've really. I need to do that thing with that stonewash thing, don't I? I need to put a load of rocks in my washing machine and scruffle it up, soften it up. I wonder if that'll work. But anyway, I shall be wearing that around the shack in the woods. I love the colour, absolutely love the colour. Golden yellow. So it's my emerald dress. The other thing I've been sewing recently, not a dress, not clothing at all. It's rather huge, and it's heavy even without anything in it. I made an accordion bag. Nathan's accordion. And he chose this fabric because he wanted it to look like a carpet bag. He wanted it to look like a carpet bag. So I made him an accordion bag, and it's all done. And it was a beast to sew on my little machine, but I'm really proud of my little machine for actually getting through this heavy fabric. And it has this zip that goes all the way around, so it's sort of like a carpet bag, doctor's bag sort of shape, but it's huge. It's big enough to fit an accordion in, and I just need to sew in the lining, or fit and sew in the lining. It's pinned in at the moment. He chose this sort of velvety, red velvety embossed floral fabric to go inside. So I've got to get that lining in for him, or for his accordion, and finish that off and cut away what's inside the zip, the side panel here that I haven't cut away yet, and get that lining in. So I'm quite pleased with that. Oh, the other thing I've got to do with it is put some of this lining fabric on the inside of the handles. He requested that, so he will get that. Hopefully my machine can do that. I'll probably end up having to do a bit of hand sewing there. I'm definitely going to be hand sewing in the top of this lining. But yeah, I made a great big bag. I can't even get it on screen, it's so huge. I was going to put feet on it, but he said that the accordion itself has feet and he doesn't want the two to battle each other and cause ridges or holes. So it's got a lot of very stiff interfacing in the bottom. So that should be done soon. Should be done soon. That will be done soon. And let's put it over there. Phew. Okay. So that's what I've been making lately. What am I wearing? I'm wearing my Ogden Cami, which isn't a cami, it's a dress. Because I had this fabric. It's really nice, quite thin, cottony fabric in this greeny, bluey, turquoisey plaid with yellow and brown. And so I extended it. I can't even remember if I spoke about this. I think I Instagrammed it. I think I Instagrammed it before I did anything else. So I've worn it quite a few times actually. I made it, I just extended the pattern, not quite going with the seam line, sort of bringing it after the bottom of the actual pattern, bringing it in slightly, not in, but not following that angle. So following it and then evening it off a bit. I'm going to say 12.5 inches. So I extended it quite a bit. And I wore it like that for a while, and then I decided, well, even before then, I decided it needed pockets and ties. So I'm going to attempt to get up off my creaky chair. So I put ties in the side, so I can tie it in a bow at the back, and then the pockets, I'm going to have to climb on the chair. The pockets are the pockets from the Dottie Angel smock dress tunic thing, which I really like the shape of. So they have this little top part and then the pleat in the centre and then the binding around the edge. So I need to get a full length picture of this because it's pretty cute. And I got some more fabric to make another one. I expect I'll be making more because it's such a great shape and it's so easy. I keep wanting to do that, but it's that way. It's so easy. Easy make and really nice to wear. It's getting warmer up here, so it's getting to be summery dress weather. And over the top, I'm wearing one of my Babylonica cardigans, which I live in these days. I'm very much a cardigan person. This is a really simple, as I said before, top down, seamless cardigan, and it has these nice yarn overs at the raglan sleeve, which I really like. So yeah, I get a lot of wear out of this. Unfortunately, this yarn is discontinued. It is, I can't even remember what it's called. It's Rowan, and it's a recycled cotton and silk, and it's in a sort of chambray denim-y colour. So this gets a lot of wear. And that was the sound of me getting an email. I thought I'd switched it off. Never mind. So yeah, this gets a lot of wear. My Ogden Cami dress hack thing gets a lot of wear. So loving it. I'm sure my Hinterland dress will get a lot of wear too when I've got the buttons on, and then all the other things that I'm going to make, all the other lovely things that I'm going to make. I got myself a lot of patterns for sewing. It's making the time for it, because, and having the table space to cut out and sew. But I love sewing, love knitting, love crochet, love sewing. And another thing I did recently, also following directions from Making Magazine. I'm looking over there because it's on my little side table over there. Making Magazine number 7, Desert. I made the macrame plant hanger, and that was a lot of fun, apart from the fact that I was like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing, and I did the wrong stitch on the first at the top. So if I can figure out, I'll put a picture of that up here. And I modelled it, I styled it with this plant here. I'm still getting used to all this business, because I want to go that way. It feels like it's that way. And of course, this plant is completely the wrong plant, completely the wrong plant pot, completely the wrong shape. So I need to get now a nice plant and plant pot to put in my hanger. It's hanging up over there. I'm looking over there because it's hanging up there empty, naked and empty and lonely. So I need to get another plant in a nice pot. It needs a nice rounded pot. And something with big leaves, not long leaves like this, but wide leaves, I think. Yeah. So I have to treat myself to a new potted plant. But I love the macrame. I love making the macrame. That was a lot of fun. So I'll be doing some more of that. I got myself some more craft cotton to play macrame with, and I'll see about maybe doing wall hangings. I've got to make that owl, right? I've got to make that 70s owl. And then maybe even do some weaving, so macrame type weaving-y stuff. I can see that happening in the near future. That should be fun. And then, oh yes, so last episode I started to talk about vlogs that I'd started watching, and then I went on talking about something that I was doing and forgot to mention them. So the vlogs that I've been watching and enjoying mainly are mostly British, actually, because I like British television, so I suppose it would only go that I like British vlogs too. But if you haven't heard of them, if you're into sewing, you've got to watch the Stitch Sisters. They are a couple of ladies, I'm going to say in their 40s, I believe, who are a couple of mums who live in the Bath, Bristol area. And they sew, they teach sewing. They have online sewing classes as well as physical sewing classes. And they make a lot of vlogs about themselves sewing, about what they wear, about what they like. And they have a wonderful on-screen chemistry, and I'm sure wonderful in-person chemistry. They are best friends, and they are fun to watch, and they make beautiful clothes in wonderful bright colours. They wear lots of bright colours. They wear bright coloured earrings and jewellery, and yeah, they're a lot of fun. So if you like sewing and enjoy watching vlogs, I recommend the Stitch Sisters. So hello Stitch Sisters if you're watching. And also I really enjoy the Fold Line. So hello Fold Line if you're watching. What got me hooked on the Fold Line was watching the Great British Sewing Bee. Now, if you're into sewing, you have got to have heard of the Great British Sewing Bee. It's fantastic. I love it. It's like Bake Off, but with sewing. Everybody's heard of Bake Off, right? Or the Great British Baking Show, I think it's called in the US. They have them all over the place now, so it's not just British. So yes, Sewing Bee. Sewing Bee is fantastic. It's incredible. The contestants on it are amazingly talented and super fast sewers, because it takes me a long time to sew something, because I like to take my time. I like to have a sip of tea. I like to go off and do something else and then come back, and I've got the iron on and I've got the radio on, and I'm just sewing away nice and slowly and unpicking and sewing again because I've done something the wrong way around. So yes, so must, if you can, because I don't know how easy it is to find in the US. Watch the Great British Sewing Bee, fantastic. And then because of that, the Fold line started doing, which I thought was incredible, after each episode of the Sewing Bee, which actually the Sewing Bee was out in something like February, so it's not on at the moment. It's been and gone. I am very unfashionably late with everything. After each episode of the Sewing Bee, the girls, the women of the Fold line would go off into online land or whatever, into their filing cabinet brains, and find patterns so you could make the things that the contestants on the Sewing Bee were making. A lot of the time they were the exact things that the contestants were making, and then other times it was just, if you liked that, you can make this, which is similar, and you can hack it. And anyway, so that's how I got watching the Fold line, and the women of the Fold line are amazing and brilliant, and they put out wonderful vlogs, who cares? And so I recommend that. A lot of pattern information, a lot of indie pattern information, a lot of fabric, and just a lot of sewing information. And they also do reviews on products and things like that. So I definitely recommend the Fold line. So that's another one. And then was it through the Fold line? So also through the Fold line and through Stitch Sisters, they recommend podcasts. So if you like to listen to podcasts, they recommend some good podcasts. I've listened to a few that they have mentioned, which have been great. Of course, the names escape me now, and I also listen to other podcasts. The only podcast I can think of at the moment is one of my favourite podcasts. So I'm going to recommend No Such Thing as a Fish. Fantastic podcast. If you like QI on television, quiz show thingy, which is wonderful and funny and informative, fact-driven television, you will like the podcast No Such Thing as a Fish. It is by the QI elves, and they are interesting and amusing, and I enjoy that podcast. When a few years ago I drove from New Hampshire to Nova Scotia on an 11-hour journey, just me and Jakey, and I listened to No Such Thing as a Fish almost the entire journey, and they kept me going. Them and a punnet of blueberries. So No Such Thing as a Fish. That's the only one I can think of at the moment. I'll be sure to recommend more podcasts that in future episodes when I can remember them. Another vlog that I learned about, and it could have been through Stitch Sisters or somebody else, I can't remember. Bernadette Banner, an incredible woman who recreates patterns from Victorian Edwardian era, and she wears them. I recently watched her incredibly detailed vlog about her making a corset to fit her. Gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. Bernadette Banner, I hope I've got her name right. I haven't written it down. I hope I've got her name right. Anyway, I will link. Bernadette Banner makes incredibly detailed vlogs of the things that she is sewing and the patterns that she is making. She must have a camera on her and on her work at all time. It's one of those people, I know there's people out there who just vlog everything. But unlike some of the vlogs where people have got their cameras on them all the time, hers is actually interesting and informative. So I recommend that one. What else have I got going on? I keep looking over here because I've actually got a list taped to my laptop of things to mention. Is that me getting organised? Am I getting organised? The weather's getting warmer. I'm getting outside more. I'm walking more, which is excellent because when it's cold up here, when it's wintry up here, I don't move around much. I don't move around enough. So I've been doing a lot more walking, which Jakey, of course, enjoys. It's beautiful around here to go walking, so there's that. I've also been doing more yoga. Yoga is amazing. All of you who do yoga, it's amazing, right? Yoga's amazing. It's good for everything. If I don't do yoga by 8:30 in the morning, it's not getting done. So what I do is I get up, I go for a nice walk, come back, do yoga, put the kettle on, get to work. And the yoga I'm doing, the yoga that I have been doing for the past couple of years, but on and off, but on again now, is Yoga with Adriene, who, again, fantastic, amazing. Those of you who have heard of Yoga with Adriene know she's fantastic and amazing. She's funny, she's bright, she is a great online yoga teacher. I'm sure she's a fantastic in-person yoga teacher as well. But if you're interested in starting yoga, if you're interested in doing yoga, she has yoga videos for everything you could possibly need. But she also does, every month, she does a calendar for every day of that month of yoga videos, which range from about 10 to 45 minutes in length. So you can choose, if you've only got a few minutes, you can choose a short yoga session to do or a longer yoga session to do. You can do several. I love the fact that she has yoga for every day of the month, and so I can follow along and I'm like, oh, it's the 2nd today, so I'll do the 2nd of June video, and I did it this morning. Hurrah! And it's amazing. It makes me feel better immediately. So I don't know why I ever stopped doing it, but I stopped doing it and I'm like, not doing it. And then I'll get into my day and I'll be like, I'll do it tomorrow. And I'll be lying in bed next morning. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to do yoga. Yeah, I'm going to do yoga. It doesn't get done. So I have to make myself do yoga because it does make me feel so much better. So hopefully it'll make you feel better too. And another thing that I've done in the past, but I haven't actually started doing yet this year, is running. And when I say running, I don't mean sprinting or anything like that. I mean gentle jogging. And I follow the C2 5K app for that. So maybe this week I'll start doing it again. And I usually start, if you haven't run ever, or for years and years and years, then start on week 1. Because I usually do it every year, I start on week 3. But it's really great to follow. You run a bit, you walk a bit, you actually walk, you do mostly walking, and again, it's something to do not every day, but every other day maybe, or 3 times a week, and if you get into the swing of that, you'll feel the benefits. And go if you keep doing it, you feel the benefits, you'll feel much better. But don't push yourself too hard, because sometimes I do that and then I hurt my ankles and my knees and then I'm out for several weeks. So if you want to run, I feel like I'm just blathering on today. When don't I blather on? Okay, another thing I'm doing is I'm trying to figure out when I can get to England. I'm hoping July. I've been looking at flight prices and they're of course through the roof. Sky sorry. Flight prices are sky high. So I'm hoping to get to England in July. Gotta go see my family. I haven't seen them in ages. It's hard to find the time. Oh, it makes me feel terrible, but it is. But hopefully I'll be going to England soon. Hello, England. Hello, everybody that I know in England. Hopefully I'll be seeing you next month. Oh, gosh. Really got to go. Got to go see the family. Because they're not going to come here. Okay. I think that's about it. Looking around, yeah, talked about my lovely tea. Okay. Hopefully you found this video today interesting. Please comment down below, ask me questions, suggest things for me to talk about, suggest things for me to look up and study on, for other vlogs, podcasts, sewing patterns, things you've been making. Me Made May is over, which is where you post a picture every day or every few days, like I did, of things that you're wearing that you've made. I love Me Made May. I think some people feel like it's a bit much. But I loved it. I love Me Made May. I mainly loved seeing other people's posts, seeing what other people have made. It's great inspiration. So if you have something that you've made and you really enjoyed making it and you'd like to tell me about it, please do below. Be like, oh Heather, there's this great pattern you'd like and you haven't heard of it yet. Oh, and maybe down there I will also I was going to say I'll also put in sites where it's good to find patterns, but I'll leave that for another vlog. Okay, time to go. Got stuff to do. See you soon. Bye.